You brought your cup down just in time.
Hey, it's a good thing we're not professionals, Rebecca.
I know.
That's it.
Boy,
Hey,
could you imagine if we were professionals?
oh, wait. Hey, everybody. Good to see y'all tonight. And we got Mr. Jeff tonight. A lot of y'all know Jeff. He's on Online Cryptids with Jerry, and he's always in the chats and different lives. So welcome on him tonight. Talk a little bit with us about farming and fishing and eating and boogers and whatever else we come up with. Catfishing, and ain't no telling what we'll talk about tonight.
No telling at all.
So
You never know where we're gonna go.
Never.
Oh yeah. So look like we got a good house. We got Mr. Skunk Ape, Mr. Pat. Just seen you a few days ago, Pat. Miss Sharon, David, Mr. Gary. Hope you're doing better, Mr. Gary. Denise. Let's see. Hey, Billy. Wendell. Glad you're doing a little better, Wendell.
Gene Ellsworth.
Hey, Mr. Gene. Glad to see you.
Not so perfect.
Hey, good to see you, Miss V.
Jesse Underwood, Mark Creel.
Hey, Mark
Katie
Creel.
G.
Hey, Phyllis. Good to see
Kevin
you.
Ashby.
And I imagine there'll be some more. Hey, Abby.
Oh, yeah. Abby's in the house.
So
We said Miss Phyllis, Sherry Griffey.
Yeah. So we're getting, yeah, good to see everybody tonight. Miss Barb. Good to see everybody. So we're getting a Diane.
I'm just scrolling away, guys.
Yep. If we miss anybody, please,
David
we
Blaylock.
we don't do it on purpose. Y'all know
We
that.
just can't read.
It
Can't read.
too fast, and I can't even read it sometimes.
River. Hey, River.
Made it in the house.
Hey, good to see River.
Bobby Young.
Hey, Bobby.
River said he was going to be here.
Yeah, he made it. CD Squatcher.
Yeah. So we getting, hey, Patrick. Hey, Patrick, I got a bucket waiting on me at work.
Oh, my.
I got to tell about the bucket that Pat Rance can tell about the bucket. Hey, John Lamb, about me sitting on the bucket talking to Pat one night, and the wind blew me off the bucket.
Oh, I can tell you all about that in the backyard, even.
Oh, yeah. So we got a good full house. Hey, Miss Rhonda, good to see everybody tonight.
It's like everybody's having a good time in the chat.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm still scrolling through the
Hey, Robert.
Chat.
Good to see you, Robert.
Mr. Duvin.
Yeah. Hey, Foxfire. So good to see everybody. Hope we don't miss them.
Or Jeff D, excuse me.
Hey, Jeffy.
Jeff D.
Jeff D, yeah. Well, he knows how I goof up, so he probably pay me.
Yeah, probably not. A lot of them know.
I know I goof up a lot.
Miss Sherry.
Yeah, good to see everybody.
And I am still scrolling. Craig Schultz.
Hey, Craig.
Surely I'm getting near the end.
Mr. Kilpatrick. Good to see everybody. We got a full house tonight. That's good. They come to see you, Jeff.
Message for you,
I've
Mark.
made too many friends since January. It's a little ridiculous.
Stacy Thrasher. Tim Deals.
Hey, Stacy. Hey, Anthony.
Tim Deals.
Yeah, hey, Tim Deals. Good to see you, brother. Need to get up North Carolina and visit with you.
I think that's everybody. If we miss somebody, I'm sorry. I can't read no more.
Yeah.
So, Jeff who? I see.
Yeah, Billy. Real funny, Billy.
All right. So let's go ahead and get our stuff out of the way. And I'm going to start with the plant of the week that is about half dead, so I might need to go pick another one. But this little plant is taking over all of my gardening stuff. Everywhere I have bare dirt. It's almost like a sensitive plant look. Let me go pull a fresh one. Hang on. That's how close it is.
The way she was waving around, it looked like a green bean. I wasn't sure what that was.
But it does look like one.
Hey, Greg. Good to see you, bro.
My aunt's a horticulturist. She'd be able to tell you what it was.
Actually, Rebecca's got a degree in horticulture, too. She from that school there in Rome, Georgia. What's the name of that school?
Yeah.
Georgia Northwestern.
Yeah, Georgia Northwestern. Used to be Coosa Valley. It's Georgia Northwestern.
She, my aunt actually was the high school horticulture teacher for, I don't know, like 20-some years.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
So this is what the plant looks like.
All right.
And as you can see, it's almost like a sensitive plant. It closes up at night. It closes up when it needs to save moisture, all that good stuff. This plant is called chamber bitter, and it is taking over every piece of bare ground that I have. Now let me pull it back up again to tell you the good parts of chamber bitter.
Almost kind of like vetch a little bit, don't
Almost.
it? Yeah, like vetch a little bit.
Chamber bitter.
As long as it's not burnt cucumber, you're fine.
What kind now?
It's called burnt cucumber. That stuff will take over a cornfield, and then you gotta go in there and spray it. It's bad.
I'm gonna have to check that plant out, see what that is. So chamber bitter is a, believe it or not, tropical Asian weed. Long history of use in traditional medicine for a variety of ailments. Who knew that a weed covered a lot of different illnesses? I think every weed we've talked about covers a lot of things. So we have urinary tract health, digestive disorders, skin conditions, liver problems, malaria, diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. However, there is a note. Chamber bitter is not without its risks. It, along with some other medicinal plants, do have toxins in them. Think pokeweed, think sassafras. If you do enough of it, it can be poisonous. Think nightshade. All of your poisons have benefits as well. Think cancer treatment. I mean, if you want to talk about a major poison, but it cures, it doesn't cure, it treats cancer. So you're ugly. Be nice.
There's old Pat.
So
what do you do? Go change names? Now he's Pat.
he did. Now he's Pat. Yeah. So chamber bitter, look it up. Make sure you know how to identify it. I just walked in my yard, pulled up the Google Lens, took a picture, and it brought up matching websites that use this image. Make sure you check the websites to ensure that you know what you're actually getting. So chamber bitter.
All right. That was fast.
I'm always fast on it. I want to get it done and over. So next up, book of the week. So it's kind of interesting that we have a cattle farmer on here, amongst other things. Today's book is Natural Parasitic Controls in Livestock. So this has pasture management, chemical-free deworming, growing antiparasitics, and more. The book is by Wendy Lombardi, and it's got a lot of different things in here, methods that you can use to keep your cattle free from parasites, keep any of your livestock. It even mentions chickens in here and stuff. So this is not just for a big organization. This is for the home person as well. So it talks about different herbs in the back of it, how to identify it. It talks about the different methods and everything. It's a very good little book. It did not cost a lot of money. I got this one on Amazon. I hate to say Amazon gets a lot of my business, unfortunately, but where else can you find cheap books? So Natural Parasitic Controls for Livestock. There you go. And with that, I'm done.
Woo. Boy,
And sister's ready to go.
When she gets to rolling, she can go with these topics. I'll tell you.
And my dog's getting a little riled up over here too, probably because of the neighbors.
Yeah. Well, you've been hot this week. It's been hot in your neck of the woods.
105 a couple days, and
woo, that was hotter than Alabama was.
and the heat stress on some of the cows was not good.
Yeah, I can
That
imagine.
was already scheduled, and he had to come do some pregnancy checks to make sure everyone was going along like they should be. And we had to treat a couple of them because they went down, and we actually lost a Jersey yesterday, not because of the heat stress, but I think she had something else going on, and I think the heat aggravated it. And you know how that goes. So
yeah, I know where you.
we got one old girl tonight that she's probably she might have to go down the road this week if she doesn't turn around, as long as we don't have to put her down or something. But she's The older they get, the harder it is to keep them working. So,
yeah, I know what you're saying. It's
that's the way it is.
how long how long your family been involved in dairy farming?
So, my great grandfather started it, and then they started out, raising tomatoes. They had an orchard, and they did all sorts of different stuff. And then they started a small herd of dairy cows. And there used to be a railroad. Part of the old railroad used to come through the bottom of the property. And they would actually load up the milk cans and all the vegetables and all that stuff there at the train depot, which was right down the hill here, and haul it all down to Baltimore or wherever they were taking it. So the farm's been in the family for over 100 years.
That's cool. So y'all been a century farm then? Down here
Yeah, we're a century farm. Yeah.
They do that up in Maryland, not when you get to 100 years.
Yep.
They'll
Once
recognize.
you get over 100, you're a century farm.
Right. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, Alabama does that.
They
They
do that in
recognize
Georgia, too.
people. It's been in their, family's been involved. I think you got to be on the same property. I don't think you got to be on the same property, but you got to show where that family's been involved in it for 100 years.
So the house that I'm in belonged to the neighbors. Our home place, which is connected to here, it's century. This right here, we're only the third family that's owned this property.
Wow.
And it's about the same age, if not a little bit older.
That's pretty
and
well.
Also, the joys of having a whole old house. I never know what I'm going to have to fix it.
Work on. So that house is pretty old that you in?
I think 1890.
Nice.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's good.
There's a lot of horsehair plaster. That was the thing that they did up here for some reason. You can tell where the newer additions were because they had drywall, but there's some spots in the hardwood and stuff in here that needs redone. It sat empty for a couple years before we ended up buying it. We were still renting it from the family, but we kept cows on it once they retired.
That's
Once
cool.
the neighbors retired from milking, we probably had cows here in the pasture, just replacement heifers and stuff since the 80s.
That's good. That's good. That's good. It's nice when you can get it, own a house like that. Around here, a lot of the old houses don't ever come up for sale too much. Most people keep them in their family, or if they do sell them, they go for a pretty penny. There's one right now, not far from here, that was I think built in 1870.
Yeah,
it's a big house. It's right across from the grist mill where my mother grew up at, and Rick's actually they're not wanting a bad price for it. I want to say about $300,000, and I mean it's in immaculate shape.
You don't want to know what houses go for up here.
No. Well, I bet you they go for some money up there.
Uh-huh. In fact, we got a really good deal on this place because the Glasgow's, before Mrs. Glasgow passed, she said that she put a clause in there when it was coming up for sale that we had to get the first bid on it, and there was a set amount that she was going to accept, and that's what the family had to take. I'm sure it ruffled some feathers in that bunch.
Oh yeah,
probably.
Mainly because we always looked out for them, and we were always next door. So if something happened and they needed help, we were always there.
Right. That's cool. David's house is over 100. That's cool.
Most of their family didn't show up until they died.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden they're wanting some like old furniture that Charlie had worked on 30 years ago that was in the shed somewhere. And I'm like, well, good luck finding it. they were trying to get everything that wasn't nailed down.
Yeah, that's sad too when you have that happen.
Mhm.
People come in that you ain't seen all your life, and all of a sudden when somebody passes away, they come running up. It's sad to see, but it happens. A lot of families getting squabbles over property too, and
Yeah.
I've seen that several times. Part of my family one time got into it over some property, and people do though. That's just part of it. But it's pretty cool to live in a house and it's got a lot of history to it. And,
Yeah,
we'll have
Pat Noble's right. You can't hardly drive a nail anywhere in this damn thing.
Hard.
right. You have to out there take your drill and drill it, ain't it?
Hey, there's a spot up in my kid's bedroom that I tried. We were putting some sheetrock up in there, and I don't know what was in there, but there was a spot you could not get a screw in.
Wow.
I don't know what they used, but it was just breaking everything I tried to put in there.
Wow.
And we just had to find a different spot to fasten it to the wall.
I wonder if there was some knots right in there or something.
Could have been. If it was the biggest knot I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's I bet. Yeah, I've tried to get screws into stuff, and it just goes so far, and it just locked down, and you couldn't do nothing with it, and you'll have to get it back out, and try to drill it, drill it out. And I've even seen the drill bit start getting hot on wood, and it get. I know what you're saying, especially these old houses with the old original heart pine. I mean, they were cutting virgin timber and getting that, the pine now that you get at the stores ain't the pine that was 100 years ago. It's
No.
It don't have the pretty grains to it, and it doesn't get enough time to, mature like the old. And down here we have a longleaf pine, which is a very pretty pine, and you just don't see them trees like you used to see them. They've cut most of them out, and but I have seen them big around as a truck hood. That's how big that old pine will be. And you'll see one here and there every now and then. Most time it's in somebody's yard and they hadn't cut it. So
we've got some some of the old stalls in the freestall barn before we replaced them. They were all made out of oak. You talk about something that was damn near impossible to cut up when we had to tear them out of there to replace them. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. Around here, old wood, like old barns and old houses, people jump on them to buy them to tear down for the lumber.
A lot of the stuff that we tore out, we'd reuse.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the when they started shutting a lot of the cotton mills down in this area, once the equipment got out of there, a lot of people bought just to go in there and get the timber out of it. And here in Sylacauga, when Avondale Mill shut down in 2006, because wasn't no other cotton mills to buy it, so they just started selling off parts of it to individuals. There's a guy got smart. He come there and bought part of it and brought a sawmill there with him. He just went to dismantling it because they had a lot of beams in there, big old beams. A lot of them were 12 by 12 beams. And he went to sawing that lumber up and selling it. And I don't know if he's made, I guess he probably made a fortune off of it because he stays busy. And, but he, so they taking a lot of these old mills. They take the flooring out and sell the flooring, and because people loves to buy those those pine planks for flooring.
That happens a lot around here. The Amish will come in if a place is getting tore down, and they'll take all that lumber and they'll go redo it and resell it. What Diane was saying, I have seen ghosts here, but they all stay in the yard.
They stay in the yard.
I've seen them up at the at the home place in the milking barn before. I've seen them around there too.
Well, do you think his family
grandfather actually died in the dairy scrubbing the milk tank?
Wow.
They think he had a heart attack and fell, but I mean, he had to have been close to 90 when it happened, but that's what they said probably happened. He probably had a heart attack and fell off and hit his head on the concrete. But
So they've been out in the yard, but you haven't seen them in the house.
No, I haven't.
Well, I'm glad you're glad of that too.
I think Mrs. Glasgow knows I take pretty good care of the place, so she don't get too mad on me.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I said, well, something going on by them not coming in the house. So unless they something else living in the house they don't like or something now. So
it hasn't bothered me, so I don't know what it is.
Hey, that's what counts. As long as it ain't messing with you.
So,
yeah, porch ghost. Right.
Well, that's cool because the second time I ever saw anything, the first time it was actually on the security camera, and it looked like Mr. Charlie, Martha's husband, leaving the milking parlor from years ago, walking across the yard like he was going into the dairy.
Wow, now that's pretty cool.
That is.
That's pretty cool.
And a couple months ago, I was actually talking to Barry Brown on the phone, and I was standing out here on the front porch, and some sort of ball of it looked like a black cloud, but I don't know why a black cloud be floating across my driveway at 11:30 at night. But it just kind of hovered, and it almost looked like smoke, but you couldn't really see through it. And then it just kind of floated past me and across the driveway out into the corner of the pasture and disappeared.
That's weird. I've seen the smoke one time on the hunting club come up on my game camera. And there were deer there eating. This was at 2:00 in the daytime. The camera took pictures of the deer. They were eating. A minute or two later, the deer are all looking in a direction. You can see their ears was up, their tails was up, and I'm like, uh-oh.
We've seen stuff like that.
And then all of a sudden the deer are gone, and 30 seconds later, I got a picture of this smoke in front of my camera just easing along, and it disappears. And of course, at first I thought, well, maybe a hunter walked up, but then I got another camera looking at this camera, and it never shows nobody.
Now, this was daytime.
This was daytime, 2:00 in the afternoon.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. So
one of the strangest things I've ever seen was a glowing outline of a teddy bear on a game camera. The deer were there, and then the deer disappeared. Well, the deer were staring at something, and then they kind of took off, and there was one deer kind of still milling around looking, and you see this glowing outline in the next frame. It looked like a teddy bear. Like, I don't know what else it could have been, but it was right there in the camera frame in the dark. And that was on my cousin's property that borders us. And the story about that area is there was an old farm back there too, and that area used to be a slave quarters.
Okay.
Interesting.
And there's an old well in there that when you throw stuff in it, you don't hear it hit for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet y'all just like Alabama. Y'all got a lot of old home places with those old whales.
There's a lot of stuff around here. There's a lot of old rock quarries, slate, there's a lot of stuff between here, and we're only about 10 minutes from the PA line, so.
Right. Yeah, y'all about an hour from, hour and a half or something from Baltimore?
Yeah, I don't like to tell everybody that.
I understand. I get you. I got you.
Probably wouldn't take as long if it wasn't for all the damn traffic. Probably takes 2 hours the way things are anymore. I could drive into Pennsylvania and get anywhere I want to there way faster than I can get driving down towards the city.
Right. Yeah, I imagine if you can help it, you don't go that way much. If you can, help it.
We're only about an hour or so from Hers potato chips.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
I'm not very. In fact, we go up there sometimes when they do the Christmas lights up at the factory.
Hey, that's cool. Yeah, so you're not too far from Gettysburg, are you?
Less than 2 hours.
No,
that's nice.
We get hay from the battlefield.
Wow.
There's some farms up there. There's a place called Getty Acres. They farm the battlefield ground. They're not allowed to disc it or anything like that, but they're allowed to no-till reseed it every couple years, and they mainly cut hay off of there. Oh, and Greg, it was a normal size teddy bear, like a small one.
Wow.
I can tell.
Now, I was going to ask you, you don't think your hay is getting haunted, do you?
Well, I got a good story about the hay.
Oh.
So our I think I told this on one of the shows the other day. One of the truck drivers, I was asking him what, because I've asked all of them. I said, "You ever have anything weird happen?" And the one guy's like, "Well, I've felt like something's watching me, but I've never seen one." But the one driver said, "Yeah, I remember it was last year, the year before, he was down there and had his truck parked off one of those roads, and he went to pick it up, drive back to the farm, and he had an old Ford Excursion, and said he got in and started driving, and there was a Confederate cavalry officer sitting in the passenger seat."
It went over well, did it?
And I said, "What'd you do?" He's like, "I gave him a ride back to the farm."
What else could you do?
I said, "Well, what happened then?" He's like, "Well, I tried talking to him, and after a while, he just kind of disappeared."
Wow.
So he called one of his friends that was a reenactor and was real big into the stuff, and he told me that he asked the guy, he's like, "Hey, are there any old Confederate encampments back off of that road that I was bailing at this week?" He said, "Let me check. I'll get back to you in an hour." He calls me back and goes, "Why? There's one right there." And he told him, he described it all to him, and he was like, "You're kidding."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's wild.
And
I know
there's a lot of booger activity up around there too. Michaud State Forest.
It's right there at Gettysburg.
Yeah.
That's like I got a friend that lives over by Shiloh Battleground, which is there, right on the Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama line. And he used to do a lot of paranormal in there. I think he knew the main ranger real well, or person over the battlefield, and they let him go in there at night some, and he got some crazy stuff. He said I think and I need to get him on here if I can get him. I know he's having some health issues right now, but I need to get him on here to talk about a lot of that because I think he actually had a Union officer talk to him.
Oh,
They actually spoke to him, and that freaked him out right there. Yeah,
hold on, I gotta
rain.
see what my other dog is.
All right, go ahead. It's raining here. Yeah, come in the shower.
Yeah, what we gonna do for dinner?
I don't know. You need to ask Jeff what he likes. What's his
Well,
favorite
he's
food?
not on there right now, so I thought I'd fill up the downtime by talking my favorite subject.
Well, I know that is your favorite.
I almost stopped at Bulldog Barbecue.
Ooh, we haven't tried that out yet. We may have to try it out tomorrow.
We'll have to see.
He was upstairs. I gotta watch him. Sometimes he slips out, and next thing you know, he's over at the neighbor's tree nursery. And then I gotta go try to catch him.
Hey, Miss Sharon, and hey to everybody else that's come in the chat. I know we've had some more people.
I've kind of been waving at several of them.
Everything.
Yeah, Rebecca, if you ever want to do some ghost hunting, that's the place to go.
I want to. I want to. Hey, Pat, they were yard-long beans.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I meant to ask you about that other day. So.
And they're red.
Yeah, I'd love to. When me and her get to come visit that part of the country, of course, we're gonna come by and see you and visit Spencer and Billy and Anthony. We'll come up in that part of the country, and I'd love to go see Gettysburg. That's one battlefield that I'd love to go see. I've been to Vicksburg, Shiloh, of course, the Battle of Mobile Bay, which Mobile Bay was everywhere. It was two forts on both sides. Been through Chickamauga, but didn't ever get to stop and really look at it. And then been up some of the small battlefields in Alabama, down at Selma, and one they call Old Hatchie. But like Chickamauga was so huge, that battle, because it started at Lookout Mountain, went all the way to Atlanta. You know, so that whole area. But I'd love to come up and see Antietam or what they call the
I've seen a lot of that. I've been to a few of the ones, pretty much everything in the area here I've been to. A lot when I was younger.
And that'll be a good place for y'all to check for boogers, probably around them battlefields.
Well, that Mary Fabian's talking about doing a outing up at Michaud, so when she finally gets around to doing that, I'm probably going to be up there.
Hey, that'd be cool. That'd be cool because, me and her want to travel to some more battlefields, and I just always love it. I mean,
there's a lot of campgrounds up there. A lot of campgrounds.
Wow, there we go.
If we lose internet, guys.
Yeah, y'all just heard that, seen it flash. So we
happen.
The other night we had some storms roll through on Tuesday. We had several this week. We needed it. That corn was needing some.
Yeah, we last 2 weeks we've started finally getting rain. And I mean, our temperatures are supposed to be around like 80, 81 for the next few days. That's the high every day. I mean, I'm going like, Lord have mercy. I ain't used to that. It feel like fall, you know. And but we've been the last 2 weeks. My ponds are about full. In fact, I need to get in the fields and kill some morning glories.
Oh yeah.
We get that too. We get morning glories.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm trying to do it the old conventional way. I'm trying to kill them with disking. In other words, let it rain, let them sprout, disk it. Let it rain, let them sprout, disk it. Try to keep from putting chemicals on. I'm trying to stay away from chemicals if I can. And which I know when you're big time farming, you ain't got much choice. You got to use them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not much way around that. No, Pat, I have not found any arrowheads. I can't remember if anybody has. We find a lot of golf balls. We're next to a golf course, but
we find them here all the time too. I think the guy that lived here before us must have hit golf balls out in the field. I'll plow them up.
Well, the one side of the farm, we had one of our old neighbors used to go back. He'd go over there and collect them all, and then go resell them to the golfers.
Yep.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah, get you a little money
I told
back.
anybody if they need any, just go up there and walk at the edge of that woods there in the cornfield. You'll find them. We found one that was way out there. It was almost over here to our road where it comes up to the farm. I'm like thinking, who in the hell drove one that far? I mean, it was out there. Like somebody shot it with a cannon.
I tell you, me and a couple of my buddies one time was down in Florida, and there was was right beside where a bay was. There's a little old 9-hole golf course. I ain't never played golf in my life. We was out there playing. It come up my time. The hole was about probably 150 yards, 200 yards down there. And right on the back side of that hole was the bay. I got up there and got ready, and I hit that ball. And it went out just like a line drive, like a baseball. Well, it was getting going good. About that time, here come a boat. And this thing goes on over the hole. Goes on out and hits on the top deck of that boat. I mean, you see it bounce off the boat. Of course, that dude starts screaming and hollering at us. And I'm going like, I mean, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know you was fixing to come up through there in that boat. He was raising Cain. We kind of grabbed our stuff and went on over to the next hole real quick. But I mean, that dude was raising Cain, boy. I mean, I said, hey man, I didn't mean to do it, Hey, Spencer.
My uncle was cutting hay one time for us, and he hit one with a Spencer. He finally got let out of his cage.
The possum's about, ain't he?
I thought he was hibernating, but he picked up a golf ball with the haybine, and it slung it into the cab because it was one of the older open cabs that didn't have a back window in it because it broke out or something.
Right.
And it still had the side glass and everything else. This ball launched in there and was bouncing off all the corner posts and the roof, and then it finally bounced back out the back window.
You're lucky he didn't hit him.
I know.
I bet he was ducking.
Yeah. Probably didn't roll the tractor on that hill.
Yeah, that's true. I got into a hornet's nest one time on that old big 806 International I had. I was bush hogging a field that hadn't been planted in a few years. The old saplings had done come up in it, and we was going to plant that field that year. So I went in there early spring, and I went over, of course, the tree had done bushed out a good bit.
Yeah.
And I was bush hogging, and I went down through there. About that time, I felt stuff hitting my hat. I could feel something hitting my hat. I'm like, and then about that time on the hood of the tractor, I started seeing hornets hit the tractor. And I'm talking about, man, they was bouncing off there, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. And I turned around and looked, and all you could see was this big swarm of hornets. I throwed that tractor in high gear, and I went across that field, and they were steadily hitting the tractor, and every now and then you feel one hit my hat. And the Lord had to be with me. I never got stung that day, and I got way on the other end of the field.
Yeah.
And throwed that tractor in neutral and got down off the tractor. And you could see them up circling right above me. And every now and then one would just come down and hit the tractor. I mean, you'd hear it. It'd go think, and I'm like, woo, woo. But
I'm with Stacy.
But the Lord was with me. Well, there may have been mistake if I jumped off right there with them.
Well,
They may have
depends
seen
on
me.
which one goes faster.
I'm thinking that tractor, they was after that tractor more than they was after me.
Again, I jumped off and ran.
I
that
had an incident like that last year, actually. I was moving calf hutches with the skid loader. I had one of the spikes for one of the bell prongs, and I was picking them up and moving them around. And I looked down and I seen an old nest laying on the ground. I said, "Well, it don't look like nothing's in it." Well, I didn't realize there was still part of it in the hutch that was hanging off the end of my spike, and they came out of there. So I'm winging this thing around and trying to throw the hutch off the end of the spear, and it's still hanging in there. So finally, I just ended up jumping out of the skid loader. They chased me.
yeah,
I only got hit a couple times, fortunately, but
well, I'm glad you didn't get. I'm going to tell you, man. That's what a lot of folks don't realize about farming. You can get in some messes in a hurry out there.
oh
in the
yeah,
field. I mean, I've had tree limbs get hung up on the tractor, come back about to slap you off the tractor. And,
yeah.
you know, I mean, and one old buddy of mine went to climb up on his John Deere one time, and there was a freaking big old rattlesnake.
Ooh.
And done got up on the platform somehow.
Jeez,
got right
what is
up
it doing
next
up
to the-
there?
I don't know. But he happened to look right before he got up. That old rattlesnake was done curled up under there. And he backed up, you know, and
I'm not working that day.
Huh?
I ain't gonna be working if that's what I see.
I know some old boys that's bailed up snakes in bales before. You know.
Oh, we've had some experience with that. My mom is scared to death of those things, and she actually grabbed one inside of the baler one time. We were working on I was probably a kid then, but she grabbed a hold of a black snake that was like up in there while she was checking the strings. For whatever reason, it was in where the string dispenser was.
Yeah, I can imagine that sudden surprise does not help things. It does not help. Lord, Miss Leanne said she had 3 ground rattlers in her house. Whew.
Whew.
I'm always afraid there's going to be a snake in this house one day, babe. One day.
I've actually seen black widows over here.
Yeah. We have to watch for them too.
We got brown recluse. We got black widows. We got them. They're here.
Yeah, they bad about getting around barns and shops, and you know, especially metal. You got metal laying around, and
yeah, we got copperheads too.
Yeah. We've been real fortunate here.
I don't get them too often, but they're here.
Yeah. I haven't seen a rattlesnake or a copperhead. Well, I take that back. I have seen a copperhead here, but it got away from me before I could kill it. But I was bush hogging and I seen it take off. It was out in my field. And I seen it take off before I could get the tractor stopped. He done got off in the woods. And I said, well, I ain't going in the woods after him, but I've done killed a couple water moccasins here because of these ponds. Yeah. And I killed a big one 2 years ago. That was a whopper water moccasin.
One of the girls that worked for us.
Hey.
One of the girls that worked for us got bit by a rattlesnake. It was a timber rattler. And she was probably like 4 or 5 when that happened.
Mm.
It was only about 10 minutes down the road from here, right on the PA border. And her mom was actually my ag teacher at the high school. And I think it was right after she got home from work one day. They were out there at the swing set. And I guess this thing was curled up under something and got her. But yeah, that's the only person I know that around here that's ever been bit by a rattlesnake. But Well, there's plenty of copperheads around here. We're not supposed to mess with them, but normally if one of us catches a copperhead somewhere, it unalives itself.
Way out in the woods, I don't mind them, out there, but right around the house or around my shop or folks who got to be walking, or I'm typically going to get rid of them. My grandfather.
Guess where I will not be coming now, Pat Rance. Guess where I will not be coming.
We've got one we had them down by our family cabin down here on the river. And Pop always kept an old single shot 12 in the corner for those occasions.
Right. That I've seen somebody in there said they had car parts in there bailed one time. Maybe a car wreck.
We built up all sorts of junk.
Oh yeah.
Now we just get somebody to come in and bail because they got them bigger square bailers and they run so much faster than our old Vermeer 504s ever did. So,
right.
and if you got to bail anything wet, that baler will not do it.
Right. They've come a long way with the balers in the last few years.
Oh yeah.
But they pricey too, though. Whoo, mercy, they pricey.
That's another reason we don't buy any of them.
Right.
It's too damn expensive for the little amount of baling that we do every year. It's not worth it.
Right. Yeah, it's cheaper to hire it out than somebody else deal with it. That's what a lot of folks do around here. They get a lot of people come bail their property, and
we do that a lot with our planting, and we do that with most of our harvest, with all of our harvesting now, because equipment's too expensive.
Right.
I mean, we're going to spend a lot of money paying them, but it's still cheaper than trying to finance equipment.
Yeah, trying to upkeep it. Yeah. Especially, what a combine now is what $400,000 or $500,000 for a combine now. I think a brand new.
It depends on how old it is or what.
Right.
Some of those combines get pricey.
Yeah.
I know the tractors. Some of the newer tractors, like the big fence, are going for that right now.
Yeah.
So the combines have got to be astronomically expensive if that's what they're shelling out for a big 4-wheel drive tractor.
Right. Yeah, I don't see how the big
Gary said we bailed over 200 bales.
Well, that's just like down in here. We grow a lot of cotton, and that's all that cotton pick is good for. Is pick cotton. You can't pick. At least with the combine, you can do oats, wheats, corn.
Yeah.
Rye. I mean, you can do a bunch of things, but cotton picker, all that thing is good for picking cotton. And that's what a lot of people are doing down here now. Instead of buying cotton pickers, they're either leasing the cotton picker or they got a company that goes around picking cotton. And they just come out better that way.
A lot of the big guys around here that do grain, they lease a lot of their combines.
Yeah.
They'll run them for a couple years and then they trade them off.
Right. And that's probably the better way to do it. And that way you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't blame them. I mean, if I was go back to big row cropping or something like that, I would probably do leasing instead of, And, a lot of farmers now are going back to the older tractors just because. Just because
there's a big resurgence in old steel.
Right. And because used to, I'd see the old international tractors, the old big 806s, 1206s, the 14s, and something like your John Deere 4020s and stuff. And you'd see them $4,000 or $5,000 now. If they in pretty good shape, they're $15,000 and $20,000. And
I just sold a 4010 for $5,000.
Yeah.
I gave the guy an old cedar that we had that we probably hadn't used in 30 years.
Right.
He's got to come pick it up, but he actually drove it from here to his. He drove that tractor from here to his place in Pennsylvania. I was like, I don't know if I'd be doing that. I'd probably put it on a trailer. With my luck, that thing would have broke down about halfway from here to where I was going.
Yeah. He should have found somebody just to come haul it for him.
Yeah, I was surprised. He was a younger guy. He wants to get into doing some baling and stuff over there, and that's a good tractor for raking and a lot of that stuff. We still keep some of our older equipment, like our discs and our mowers and that kind of stuff, but pretty much everything's outsourced now. And we do 120 dairy cows twice a day.
Woo! Y'all got a pretty good sized operation.
Yeah, we're actually considered small.
Wow.
There's a few smaller. I mean, there's a few small farms around here that still milk like 50 head, but a lot of them are like selling their milk direct to like cheese processors and stuff. They're like the local ice cream shops, but they're small enough that they can get away with doing that because they don't have as much overhead. We're just in that bracket where we can't do that. Now we sell stuff out of the store that we got here in my driveway, but we sell ice cream from the neighboring maker that does all their own homemade stuff. They still have their own cows over there that they use their milk from. I get in trouble for eating the profits. Mom's always yelling at me. But we don't mess too much with vegetables. We just don't have the time.
Right.
But my mom knows a lot of people that do vegetables, so we usually just get them from them.
Right.
But right now we're working on selling some more beef through the store, and I've been breeding these. They're a 5-way French cross. It doesn't even have a name. They haven't come up with a name for it yet. It's like a number, like INR95. The bull is an absolute monster. He's a mix between a Piedmont, a Charolais, Blonde Aquitaine, Blue Belgian, and a Red Devon.
Wow.
It's big muscle. These calves that we've only bred a handful of them so far, but the calves that I've seen, there's one out here I got in the yard that I leave him out there because he's friendly and the kids like to pet him when they come to get ice cream. But he's going to be too big for that hut. I'm going to have to move him to one of the pens here soon because he's almost a month old and he looks like he's about to outgrow that damn thing. My Holsteins don't even usually do that fast. Yeah.
Now, the ones you talking about, is that the ones you sent me pictures of before?
I've sent you pictures of all sorts of stuff, so it's hard to say. I got a lot of red Holsteins. So that's probably what I sent you.
Yeah, those are real pretty.
Yeah.
That's real pretty.
The red gene wasn't a big thing until about 15, 20 years ago, and a lot of people started breeding them. And they were actually, the red gene was in them when they were originally in the original Holsteins. Everybody thinks that all the original Holsteins had that black gene in them. They didn't all have that.
Right.
You got a lot of these devout Holstein people that were always into showing Holsteins, and they're like, oh, the Holsteins were always black. That red was a mutation. The red was there.
Well, I know that's some pretty cows you sent me some pictures of. Yeah. I know You sent me a picture of one old big cow. Boy, she was, Lord, she's got to be
Uh-huh.
at the top of her back was what, 5 foot probably? Or maybe taller.
With the one I'm thinking of, she's taller.
She's taller.
We had some that we had to take to one of my neighbors to milk them because they were too tall to fit in the parlor.
Wow.
Couldn't get through the doorway to get into the parlor house.
Wow.
They could walk through all the other doors, but they couldn't fit through that one. Oh Lord!
Wow, that's a big old cow.
And he was still milking them in a flat barn, so he had plenty of room.
What
She was too nice to get rid of.
You talking about your store? Now I know y'all food. I know you just said something about ice cream too. So y'all to make ice cream.
Greg's asking about my cheese again.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's trying and he's done it twice.
Yeah, when I come visit, I'm gonna have to stay away up there. I don't know because I'll be in there in y'all store, won't eat all the time.
Same.
All right, Greg, we'll talk about the cheese.
Well, what kind of cheese y'all making?
We do cheddar. We send it to we got about 6 or 7 different varieties of cheddar, but there's an Amish plant not far up the road from us that does it, and they age it for 75 days first, and then they can send it back to us. So we do regular cheddar, Old Bay cheddar, smoked cheddar, garlic chive cheddar, Italian herb cheddar, and a peppercorn cheddar.
Ooh.
And then there is, I think we have a horseradish still. And then there's a it's like a hot pepper. There's a hot pepper one too.
Okay.
And then sometimes in the Christmas we'll get Christmas time we'll get like a seasonal one that's like cranberry cheese.
That's right, Hillary. Between the ice cream, the cheese, and the milk, I'll be out.
It's funny they were talking about blue cheese. The neighbor that we get the ice cream from, they make mozzarella and blue cheese and feta, and sometimes they do cheese curds. I love cheese curds. You gotta keep cheese curds away from me.
Well, you tell I like dairy. It wouldn't have been if that's what my dad used to talk about. He said, when they was there, that's what my family was before they became really cotton farmers. They were dairy, which they were dealing mostly with jerseys, but he said it wasn't nothing to go up. He said he loved to go up there and skim that cream off the top. Be ice cold. He said that's what he had for dinner a lot of days. He just go skim that cream off, and that's what he ate for dinner, because it'd be ice cold. And he said, you just couldn't beat that fresh cream, And
I love it out of the tank. I don't really care for drinking it any other way unless it's made by one of the people around here. Because some of them, one of our friends does. We buy yogurt off of them that they've got. We've got it in there too. The only reason we haven't done any of that stuff is because you got to go through a crap ton of licensing and processing stuff. It's insane. Now, our other friends sell what's called creamline milk. All they do with that is pasteurize it. I think. One of the two processes. They don't do both. As long as you have I think it's as long as you pasteurized it, they can sell it. And it's delicious. I love it better when it's not processed.
Right.
Raw milk's the way to go. And a lot of people don't realize that you can drink raw milk if you're lactose intolerant.
Right. Yes.
When you take all that stuff out of it, that's where the problem starts.
Right.
When you kill everything.
Well, y'all, in other words, y'all have a lot of dairies still left in y'all's area, don't you?
There, in this county, it keeps shrinking. There's probably 10 dairies left, I think. 10, might be 9. I think it's 9. I'd have to count.
Right. Well, it's like this county that I'm in, we don't even have a dairy no more. But when I was growing up, there was like 20-something dairies in this county.
Yeah.
That was like in the 80s, early 90s. And by mid-90s, they just started taking a nosedive. And, I mean, they started shutting down left and right. And we got an ice cream plant here where we live. And, a lot of them selling to that ice cream plant. Back then, it was flavor rich. Then it became Seal Test for a while, and then finally Bluebell bought it out. But every dairy farm in this county is not here no more. They shut down. In fact, the last one shut down a few years ago, and all that land is being row cropped now. They turned it all into cotton fields, and it's sad when you ride by there, because used to you could go over and buy milk from them. You could go in there and buy milk. They had a little store. And we had another one not far from here that used to do the ice cream. And they had some dang good ice cream. But, you couldn't beat it. That was some dang good stuff. But they just, the dairy is left Alabama. I don't think there's many dairy farms left in Alabama now.
Billy, I thought I was going to gag when I drank store-bought milk.
That's how my daughter is with pigs.
It was a shock the first time I ever had it, because when we were kids, we never drank store-bought milk.
Right. I know that's a lot. I tell you, people just don't know how different things are when you get something fresh off the farm and it's not been tampered with compared to what you buy at the store. I mean, beef, when you buy beef straight from a beef beef cattleman, and he hasn't done nothing to it, it's just beef.
Yeah.
Compared to what you get in the store. Same way with hogs and chickens. And I mean, there's, just what's going on here?
I think his dog got ran over.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I put it on the screen so I could write it down. And now I got something else over the screen.
Yeah.
That's never a good time. This beagle I got back here, I ran him over with the tractor a couple months ago. We had to spend about $4,000 to fix him.
Well, yeah, vets are expensive because we carry gypsy a lot, and it gets expensive. And then I know it gets
cost me more than the cows do.
Yeah.
One trip to the vet with that dog with a prolapsed rectum cost me more than, I think, the herd vet.
That's an expensive vet bill right there.
That is.
Thank God he did not break anything. I don't know how. I ran over his butt with a tractor tire. For whatever reason, he just decided to stop right in front of me. I don't know what his problem was, but
I have to watch sister sometimes. Yep. She wants to run around in front of me. I have to keep an eye on her. And Rebecca done a bad thing, taught her how to ride a tractor. And of course, she wants to get up there with me, but I'm on a bigger tractors. And it's, if I had a cab, that'd be a different thing where I could protect her from falling off, But I don't have a cab on none of my tractors. So That is something I'm thinking about later on, getting me a tractor with a cab. But
yeah, my old lab over here gets in our one loader with me, but that's the only one she can really climb up into. The Beagle will just jump up the stairs on whatever, and he's on
Right.
board.
That somebody had a question.
Tractor, so he doesn't chase after something.
Somebody had a question a while ago about straining milk.
Yes.
I seen
You have
something.
to strain fresh milk.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Well,
I can't see it. I got a cat in my lap.
can't go somewhere.
This is why I don't do
She's-
house cats. I don't mind outdoor cats. I don't do inside cats.
She's outdoors now, but she came inside
Yeah, she came in for a few minutes because it's raining.
because it's raining.
She'll go back out in a minute after it quits raining.
Anyway, somebody had asked if you had to strain fresh milk.
I've never strained it. As long because it goes through a filter when we run it through the tank.
Right.
When there's a filter system in there, it's like a paper sock that it goes through.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, there it is.
And I just lost it again. There we go.
Yeah, okay. Catherine asked that.
No.
Okay.
No, you don't have to because it's already gone through a filtration system once it gets in the tank.
And if you're milking it yourself,
Yeah.
you just want to make sure you run it through something to get hair and stuff out in case it falls in it.
Right. I know a lot of the homesteaders, the milk cows and the milk goats has got real popular with the homestead group. And I don't know if you keep up.
A lot of people like that goat cheese.
Oh, yeah. I actually like goat milk. I buy it every now and then. I wish there was somebody around here milking some goats. I'd start buying a lot of goat milk from them.
You usually got to go to them specialty stores around here to find it.
Yeah.
Or go up to the Amish.
Yeah. That thing that hurts us, we don't really have any Amish around us. We got some Mennonites, but you have to go back kind of up north Alabama and start getting into Tennessee to really run into the Amish.
There's a lot of Amish around here. We're not too far from Amish country. David.
That reminds me of a Jerry Clyer story, don't it?
I have a feeling we'll be talking about that in our backroom chat later.
No.
What was that city slickers when he milked the bull?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, Jerry Clyer talking about that. Oh,
his name's Norman.
Jerry Clyer could come up with some good stuff.
Oh, I love Jerry Clyer.
Yeah, I do too.
Same.
I wish he was going to be in Birmingham one time at some place up there. I forgot. I wanted to go so bad, but I couldn't get off work or something. And it was right before he kind of quit touring, or doing his shows. And I think it wasn't too long after that, he started having those health problems. But I can imagine him in person, telling his stuff,
Telling those stories.
Yeah. He had some good ones.
Yes,
The bad thing about it is I can relate, a lot of us country people can relate to it,
Because that kind of stuff happened to all of us.
Yes. It's kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's fiction based in truth.
Yeah. That's just like
I still die every time I hear the story about old John and the tree because that reminds me of some of the stuff we used to get into.
Oh yeah, I agree, and you just a lot of it rings true, and then the family, the Ledbetters, we all know a family like it.
You all knew somebody like them.
There's a Ledbetter family everywhere. That's what. When he was talking about that, and I'm sitting here thinking of people. I'm like, yeah, so and so. That's about like it. Oh man,
we've got a few of them. We got a few of them around here.
Oh yeah. why does store-bought milk seem to go bad so quickly nowadays? I've noticed that.
It depends on I guess how they're processing it. I don't deal with it much once it leaves here.
Right. I have noticed that a few times. I have bought some, and it already have a little sour to it.
Like the milk that we get from them that they make on their own, they still have to process it, but they probably don't do all the stuff to it that it does once it goes into the co-ops and everything, and they put all their stuff in it. And who knows, they could be intentionally making it spoil. Wouldn't surprise me in the least if they did.
Right. It's I tell you while we're talking about it, what is your favorite food? What is your favorite food, or is there a specialty that comes from the Maryland area?
Oh, he did not. Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he sure did.
I did not know that. Sorry, best food. Go ahead.
Well, crabs are a big thing in Maryland. I don't know if I technically have a favorite, but there's chicken Chesapeake, which is chicken stuffed with crab meat. And I am a big steak guy, but I love chicken stuffed with crab meat.
Okay, yeah.
And
I like crab meat myself.
Yeah, shrimp. I love shrimp.
Yeah, I do.
In fact, last night I was at there's a local bar up here that's got the best shrimp around here. I will put it up against any of these damn seafood places around here. Their shrimp is the best. I don't care what any of these other seafood bunches over here has. They've got the best shrimp at that hole in the wall bar, and it's it's phenomenal. We went to a new seafood restaurant with my girlfriend about a month or two ago, and that was the worst steamed shrimp I think I have ever had in my life. It was absolutely terrible. I'll never eat it again.
Where do y'all getting y'all shrimp from? Is it coming out from?
I'm not sure where a lot of the grocery store shrimp comes from. I'll have to ask the next time I'm at the bar. I'll have to ask them where they get theirs from. But I'm not really sure where a lot of the shrimp up here, where they get a lot of it. I know they catch a lot of the crabs out of the bay. I'm not sure where they're getting their shrimp though.
Yeah, I just wonder if it was coming from the Gulf of Mexico or something. And
it could be.
Yeah, most of our shrimp, because we're so close to the Gulf, we're right, 3 hours from the Gulf, and so
if they're catching it in Florida, they could be bringing it up from down there. I don't know.
Yeah, most of our right. They got a big shrimp fleets there in Mobile, out of Biloxi, and out of Destin, Florida, all up through their big shrimp fleets. And so a lot of our shrimp is coming right out of the Gulf, right there below Mobile and Biloxi and Gulfport and Destin, through that area. And
John's got a good point. Lobster. Lobster's good too, but
now actually also
potatoes guy. I love steak and baked potatoes. That's one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'll fix to say, well, my favorite food is something I don't get much is wild quail. Now, I love wild quail. I could eat that every day.
Yeah,
it's hard to get the wild quail anymore. But
elk is a good one. Elk's another one. If you can ever get elk meat.
Yeah. Well, I hope to go hunting out west one of these days and maybe harvest me one. I hope so.
I'm supposed to go do that here in a couple of years, but I'm building my preference points for my tags for Colorado. And we might be backed up a couple years because I was talking to Josh the other day. He's doing this hunt with me, and he said that Colorado just changed their regulations on tags, so we'll see how that screws this up.
Well,
but we're supposed to be doing black powder for elk.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Well, I know you're like me. You're not used to that type of stuff. I know David Baylock and then David Hughes. They hunt out. Well, David lives in Oregon, and then David Hughes lives in Texas, but he goes up in there a good bit. It's pretty cool. You know, like the first one time I went to Wyoming years ago, I wasn't hunting. I went up there to work for 2 weeks. We went up there to tear down plant, bring back when I worked at the marble quarries. And that was cool. We would be out on the way to the plant. It was out in the middle of nowhere. And we were seeing antelope, elk.
Yeah.
It was just cool seeing all that. And I always wanted to go back and go hunting up there. And one of these days, good Lord willing, I will. And, something I need to really plan on. And
I'll tell you what else is good, and I've took a couple of them. I got them in. I still got some in the freezer from last time. Was black bear. My Amish butcher made some of the best sausage I've ever had using black bear.
Wow,
interesting.
That's interesting. That Misty and them might have to. Aaron Sweary may have to figure out how to do that. That'd be pretty good.
I'm going back to Maine to hunt them with dogs here in October, so I'll be bringing another one back. I made a roast in the crock pot back in January with some of it, and it was one of those ones where I just threw it together, threw all the vegetables in there, and left it. Didn't even check it, did nothing. Came back later, pulled it, and it was like the most tender, probably pot roast I've ever made, and it was with a bear.
I bet that was good. Yeah, Spencer, there's a lot of us that like bear meat.
One of my neighbors, he gave some to his nephew.
You don't like chitlins, do you?
No.
Okay. Carry on.
We've been getting stirred up now.
We sell tongue and stuff in there, but I ain't gonna touch any of that stuff. We sell that to the people for the dogs, or if some Jamaican comes in and wants to make oxtail. Now I've had oxtail. Oxtail's not bad, but I'm not doing chitlins or Rocky Mountain oysters or anything like that. I've never touched. I've never touched liver either. I don't know why. I've never eaten liver. Do you like liver?
Yeah, I eat a little bit of it, and I mean, it's not something I'd want every day, but here and there, it's not too bad. And of course, down here, chicken livers is the big thing down here.
Stacey, we do it for Spencer's enjoyment.
And then also chicken gizzard. That was a big thing down here too. But yeah, we got folks down here that eat chicken feet.
No.
And I mean, I've seen the big platters of chicken feet before. Watch a guy sit over and eat that, for an hour, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. But
yeah, if you cook the bear right, Misty, it's great.
Yeah,
it is absolutely wonderful.
Well,
you just gotta make sure you do it right. And I've done heart too.
Yeah,
heart's good if you know how to marinate the heart.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Sherry, when we was up at Daniel Boone, she cooked bear stew, and she talked about
that was some good stuff.
That was some good stuff, man. It was dang good.
But the one thing about bear is you got to be careful because of that trichinosis, just like with pigs. And if you've ever had mountain lion has it too. My friend shot one a couple years ago in Idaho, and mountain lion, believe it or not, is actually just like eating pork.
Huh.
When I had it, I was like, this tastes like I'm eating a pig. That's the weirdest thing ever. It's a cat.
I ain't never heard of nobody eating cat
I hadn't
before.
either.
That's the first time I've heard of that.
And they even processed the bobcat. The bobcat was, I had some of the bobcat. I was like, this is a cat.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard anybody mind it. Well, I'll take that back, but I'll put it this way: a restaurant got shut down because of it. Let's put it that way.
Chinese restaurant.
Oh, yeah, we found out.
And I love Chinese restaurants too. I love Chinese food.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, I do most of it, but I used to work with a guy. He was in Vietnam, and he had him a girlfriend and her mom. They called him Mama Son, and they were getting them rotten eggs. You know, I don't forgot what they call that. Where they go bury them eggs for about a month, then they go get them. And they tried to get him to eat with them, and he said, I just can't take that. You know, he said, I wasn't doing that. So he was talking about them eating them rotten duck eggs, I think what it was, or chicken eggs. But he said, Lord have mercy. He said, what's the name of that stuff?
I can't remember
the name of it, but
Balut.
yeah, Blue. That's it. He said, he wasn't going. He said you could drop. He said Americans could have won that war real quick if they just put chocolate cakes in all the airplanes and started dropping cakes and let them folks eat them. He said that sugar rush would have killed them all. You know, so he said because they didn't have.
That Noble had a point. Grouse is good too.
Never had grouse. Never had grouse.
When we went up to Maine, they have a lot of them, and we're allowed to shoot them while we're riding around. So, Maine is like a different world compared to most of the places I've hunted. If you see it on the side of the road and it's not a marked 2-lane road, you can get out of the truck and kill it.
Wow.
So if you're driving down the back road and no one's in front of you and there's a bunch of grouse sitting there, and during moose season, you're allowed to do that too. As long as no one's coming down the road, if there's a moose out there, now you're not supposed to have the gun loaded until you step out of the truck. But as long as you do that and step off to the side of the road, you're fine. They don't want to do that on a paved road now.
I used to watch that game warden show. You know, I don't know if you ever watched those.
Northwoods Law?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Our guide is friends with one of the guys that's on the show.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I used to enjoy watching it. That's a different part of the U.S. That none of us.
It is thick. That is what I would consider booger territory up there.
I know. Spencer's sitting down to eat, so if anybody wants to chime in on chicken feet, chitlins, and pork feet, now is the time.
Oh yeah, I bet. I used to have a cousin. He'd wire them pickled pig's feet out, buddy. I used to get some tickle. I go over there and he'd have a bowl of them things. He'd wire them out. I said, man, I don't know what you're getting out of eating them pickled pig feet, but he loved them, you know.
When I was younger, my grandfather loved pickled herring.
Oh yeah.
I still get a hankering for it once in a while.
Wow.
I still eat sardines. I'm not scared. I'll still eat them.
Somebody got
who was that? Have it in the mustard.
That sounds good. That trout. That's something I've liked. I've tried trout a few times. That's actually a very good eating fish.
I love trout.
Now I'll tell you what my favorite fish is though is crappie. You just can't beat crappie. But or to me.
I'll tell you what my new favorite is those snakeheads.
The what now?
The snakeheads, the ones that walk across land.
Snakeheads, y'all got them up there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. they're all over the place up here.
Wow.
They're moving up into Pennsylvania now.
Well, I know like Florida has an issue with them. I haven't seen them up here in our territory yet. I know down in Florida, I think they're hurting the regular native fish population. They're so aggressive. What I've read about them. So that's pretty good.
Everything.
So they're pretty good though.
Oh, they're great eating.
Huh.
And now we're getting a lot of those blue catfish up here too, and they're pretty good. Flatheads, they're all them big fish.
Yes.
I seen where Mr. Haywood was talking about he had a 65-pounder on the trot line, and
I forgot the white sauce
and everything.
I took my kid out a couple weeks ago, and we with my one friend that does a lot of catfishing, and we got a 42-pounder.
Yeah, I seen that picture. That was pretty cool. I bet that tickled your boy, didn't it?
It took all three of us to fight that sucker into the boat.
Right.
We had to straighten John's net out after we got him because I bent the net trying to catch him.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to do a lot of trot lining. You can't hardly do trot lining no more. All the bass fishermen will cut your lines all the time. And, used to. A lot of people used to tie their trot lines to the bank. Now you can't do that. You have to come out so far off the bank and put it out, and then you got to put your license number on there now, and it's just and plus the rivers, a lot of them have done got polluted so bad, folks don't want to eat the river cats no more.
Yeah, they don't recommend eating very many of them around here because of the buildup from the dams and stuff. So I try to only eat so much of it at a piece, and then I won't eat any for a while. And a lot of these big cats, when we catch them, when they're that big, a lot of times we just put them back.
Right.
Normally, if we're gonna cook them, we'll get the smaller ones. Although last year my buddy John he caught a bunch of them big blue cats and we froze them, but I'm still eating on them because I want to eat all of them at the same time.
Right. Well, what kind of cats
build up? I think from that, if you eat it too fast.
Yeah. They got a lot of advisories on our rivers. Now we got one river that's not far from us that's still a real pretty clean river, and that's the Tallapoosa River. It doesn't have any industry on it. It mostly runs through rural land. Most of it's woods, and that river is still very clean. But the Coosa River, which is what I live right by, they burnt that river years ago with the paper mills, and back during the Civil War in Rome, Georgia, they were making gunpowder, dumping all that mess in the river, and
where's Foxfire from?
Foxfire is from right in our neck of the woods.
He's talking a lot about Georgia. That's why I asked.
About Georgia. Well, Foxfire.
There's a lot of sediment built up behind our dam. That's one of the problems we've got.
Right.
They keep arguing about cleaning it out.
So most y'all ever do any jug fishing or the set poles or any of that?
Not a whole lot of jug fishing around here, but some people do go out and set poles, and there's still quite a few people that dip net.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And that's something we used to do a lot of, but the river is so busy now.
Yeah,
you can't, with the sea-doos and the big boats, and I mean, you can't hardly get out on the river in the daytime and do much. You have to do most of it at nighttime, and that's why a lot of times
fishing at nighttime is my favorite time to fish.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I love frog legs.
Oh yeah. I ain't had no frog legs in a while. Ain't had none in a while. We used to go do a lot of frog gigging, and ain't done that.
There's a Pat's got a good one right there.
Yep.
Alligator.
Yeah, I like gator myself too. That's very good meat. Very good meat.
You ever
Very
cook
expensive,
up
too.
you ever cook up a snapping turtle?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we used to catch a lot of soft shells and then the loggerheads.
Yeah.
Dress them out and cook them, and we used to eat the eel a lot. Used to be a lot of eels in our river system.
Yeah.
Come back up in the creeks. I remember the first time I ever seen an eel. I wasn't about 5 or 6. We were on Hatchet Creek.
Probably thought you saw an alien.
Huh?
Thought you saw an alien when you seen that thing.
Yeah.
That's how I was the first time I saw one.
Yeah. Daddy hung into one, reeled that thing in. I thought it was snake. I went to holler at snake. He said,
That does sound good, Miss
boy.
Sharon.
He said, that's an eel.
Oh.
He ended up catching 5 or 6 of them things in just a few minutes. We cooked them, and then a few other times I've caught them here and there.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
I tell you, another thing that's one of my personal favorites is brisket. I love a good brisket.
Oh, yeah, I do too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Mexican, there's really not much that I won't touch.
You don't touch organs.
No, I don't do organs. That's the only thing. Except for heart. I will eat heart. I'll eat heart. But that's
Everybody's in it.
we forgot to talk about pizza.
We forgot pizza. Yeah, somebody mentioned it in the chat though about with anchovies on it though.
There's a place up here that will put damn near anything that you want on a pizza.
Wow.
Taco pizza. They got
that
your
sounds
white
good.
pizzas. Yeah, I need to try some boudin. Yeah, deer meat. I love deer meat.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
If the good Lord willing, this winter, I think I'm going to put a hurting on some deer.
That's my plan too. They owe me for all the corn they've been eating.
Yeah.
Peas,
watermelons, okra.
I was gonna say something to Stacy earlier because way earlier she posted in the chat that she had planted her okra seeds she got from us, and I was gonna tell her she needs to share with me if she gets a crop because the deer come mowed mine down.
Yeah.
See, they get so bad in the back part of the farm that we started planting other stuff that they won't eat. Like sorghum, they do not mess with it. For whatever reason, they don't like the taste of it. I don't know why. And the nice thing about it is if we need a replacement forage feed to mix with the corn, it grows so damn fast. It'll grow to maturity at half the time the corn will because it's a weed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's why sorghum grows so damn fast. We're thinking about just planting it in that whole back property that we lease behind us because the deer, the woods are on all sides of those fields and not too many people are planting corn or anything back there anymore because they're all just planting hay because the deer are just destroyed. You can't plant beans within like a mile of this place. You cannot put a soybean. They're just... It looks like a mower went out there at night. We have more deer up here than I've ever. The only other place I've ever seen this many deer was Texas.
Well, you need to come to Alabama. You'll see the same thing.
You got that many of them too?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of times I'll see 20 or 30 out there at nighttime in our field.
At least.
And then, but now when you go hunting, you don't
plant any alfalfa, or you won't have any.
Right. And there's times you can be going down the road and you look off of somebody's pasture. You'll think it's cows out there for a minute, and it'll be a whole herd of deer, and they're plentiful here. And the hunters don't put a dent in them. I think Alabama harvests 300,000 or 400,000 every year. We don't even put a dent in them. You know,
Well, that's because
and-
you guys are like us. We got too many trophy hunters.
right,
No one cares about shooting them for meat or anything. They just
yeah,
Looking
and
for
then
that
because of that, that leads to a lot of us having to go get crop damage permits and just outright kill them. I mean,
right.
sometimes it gets so bad we just got to go in and start wrecking them, and I don't like doing that. But
I know.
no one shoots them anymore. No one. Everyone wants this. This is what everybody's out there looking for.
Right.
They're
That-
looking for
and that's
something.
what
All I care about is how's it going to taste when it gets in the freezer.
I see it. I mean, a lot of folks, and we talk about this at work. You got too many people that's watched too many of these TV hunting shows,
Yep.
and they think around the corner is going to be a moose there, you know, and that ain't going to happen in Alabama. I can tell you that now.
I always like the videos when they're like, all right, everybody be quiet. There's like a 12-pointer right over there. Like, why are you talking? Put the damn rifle out the window.
This yeah, I need to put a little hurting on the deer this year, which it probably won't knock a dent in them. They'll probably be right back just as strong as they was this year. But
well, we got coyotes and everything else around here, and I'm surprised we've got as many deer as we have.
With a small headache.
Yeah,
We
I
have
don't
a lot
think.
of coyotes.
I think the coyote population here in my area has dropped down some because I don't hear them like I used to hear them. Not near like I used to hear them. So I don't know if their numbers have dropped. But, coyotes will govern themselves. They won't let themselves get overpopulated. And,
Yeah.
if they have too many, they'll start cutting back. And so now also
I learned about them. Foxes. If you don't see any foxes, that means you've got coyotes running around because they'll kill them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We've got a red fox that lives around here. I see him every now and then. But I did take a shot at a coyote last year here. And
I peppered a few.
I wish I'd had my other rifle when I did. I could have got that 22.
That's what happened to me. I didn't have the right gun.
Yeah. What did I say? Oh, boiled okra. You be talking Jerry Clyde talking about boiled okra and the 2 hound dogs.
Oh, I love oysters.
Boiled okra neither.
Well, we talked about. I guess we need to get in on we talked a little bit about paranormal a while ago, but we ain't really got in on the boogers yet.
Yeah,
we already been on
yet. And I don't know what's going on, but there's like a delay because I keep thinking you guys aren't talking. So then I'm trying to, I don't know what it's.
Yeah, you can't watch the screen.
Yeah. And hello to everybody that's come in the chat. I know
There's
a
been
bunch
a lot.
I know there's a lot more folks come in, and we're not ignoring you. There's a lot more folks.
If you see this, it means I'm waving at somebody that just come in the chat.
We got a bunch of people that's come
Like
in.
Miss Juanita.
I got to snag a Diet Coke here. I'll be right back.
All right, that's good. Go ahead.
Whoops.
I'm glad to see everybody in chat tonight. Oh yeah, them alligator gars make you do something, PJ. We got them here in our rivers, and then we got the long-billed gars too.
Grilled booker.
I was about a 6-foot gar one time. That was one heck of a fight, buddy. And
I tell you, skates will fight you too. I've caught them before.
Yeah. Y'all have the spoon-billed catfish?
No, haven't seen one of those up here.
We have.
If it is, I don't know if anybody's caught it yet.
Yeah, we have some here in the south. You got as soon as you catch them, you got to put them back, and they've restocked the sturgeon.
They're
Georgia and
still some
Alabama.
around here. You don't see them a lot, but they're here.
Yeah, you're supposed to not keep them. As soon as you catch them, you got supposed to release them back. They trying to get them back. But I've seen there's a picture of my grandfather. My uncle has the picture. They had caught a sturgeon on a trot line, and that thing was 7 foot long. You know, and it was a big old sturgeon. You don't see them hardly, but they're getting started back. So
when one of my friends that I go out with, he hooked into something one time up here by the power plant, and the damn thing, he said he was looking at it on the sonar on his fish finder, and it looked so, it was so damn big that he said it either had to have been a shark, a sturgeon, or one of the biggest catfish that was in the river. Because this thing just pulled him around, damn near pulled him off the boat. I think he ended up cutting the line.
wow. Yeah.
But he said whatever it was big enough that nobody else in that river is going to hook it, because I only know a handful of guys up there that fish with the kind of equipment he uses. I mean, you see them guys rolling through there. They look like they're going down to ocean fish.
Right. Well, y'all don't have a dam between the bay and coming in y'all's river, do you?
We've got a dam. We have a dam right above the bay.
Okay. But sharks still get through some?
Sharks don't get through the dam. They see them down there sometimes. I got a friend that works there, and they get a lot of the snakeheads trying to come up from the bay, trying to get up the fish ladder. They catch a lot of them out of there and kill them. But yeah, they still see sharks occasionally below the dam. Nobody's ever confirmed one above the dam. That's not to say that one hasn't gotten up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I had never heard of no sharks in our area. Of course, we got dams. And some of our dams are real old. They built, like on the Coosa, Lay Dam was built in 1910. That's how old it is. And that's when the sturgeon population and some of the other population, like the eels.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, she's trying to
I'm surprised my beagle's not up here in my lap. He'll be up here soon.
People weren't asking, so I made her get up here. She's just laying on the floor sleeping because we don't have the air on. So
now what we do have coming up the river is alligators. They're slowly migrating up, and they're starting to see them a little more and more, just 60 miles from here.
Yeah, Greg's right. They've caught sharks 1,000 miles inland. So,
yeah.
But yeah, we can talk about boogers here in a minute once we're done with the fish.
Hey, I'm enjoying talking about the fish.
same.
We talk about
Y'all
boogers.
might be about to lose me for the next hour of conversation or so.
Why is that? What's wrong?
Because it's another hour of conversation or so.
Oh.
I have to say that it's been insane the amount of people I've met since I got into this back in January. One of those nights I was watching Woodwalkers and I was like, well, I'll send a message. I didn't think anybody was going to respond to me because no one ever does. And any of this stuff. Then the possum reared his head the next day.
Yep.
I've been seeing you come in chat some, and I didn't really know who you were, and I'd seen you pop in and chat a few times, and I didn't really know who.
You're at work tonight.
Huh?
I'm going to be at work tonight.
It's 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Why are we worried about work for?
Because we're going another hour.
Oh man. Now,
okay, I like Stacy's answer.
Rebecca's bedtime.
I wouldn't doubt it. Now, somebody may have turned that loose in the Chattahoochee, but Chattahoochee does have gators.
They have found alligators up here that people have turned loose.
Right.
they can't survive up here. It's too cold.
Right. Well, I think, now they're in North Alabama in the Tennessee River, up there in what we call the Wheeler Refuge. There's gators there. And they're with the shows up there are protected. I don't think they let you hunt those up there, but now anywhere else in Alabama, we have alligator hunting season. It's usually coming up. It's July and August. You got to do
you
a
guys
tag.
get some big gators, don't you?
Do what now?
Are they pretty good size?
Oh, they got one out of the Alabama River a couple of years ago. I think he was 14, 15 foot. And I hear there's a few have got in the lay in Logan Martin. So
yeah,
you know,
my aunt's got a place in Florida, Homosassa Springs, and there's off the Crystal River, and they've got a pretty good sized one cruising the canal back there right now.
Right. Well, talking about boogers a minute.
Yeah.
I've looked at your area a lot. I'm gonna tell you what I've seen, which I've told you already, but
Yeah.
that place looks very boogerish in a lot of places in there.
Uh-huh.
And then with the
Did you ever
farmland,
check out that peninsula?
yeah, I looked at it.
What'd you think about that?
Yeah, I would think something would be there. I think it was something be there. At number 3 watershed.
Mm-hmm. You didn't see that a minute ago?
She's Hey, yeah, I could see them living out there. We used to swim in that number 3 watershed a lot. There's some good fish in there too. But somebody may have turned it loose in there too, though.
Uh-huh. Barbecue booger. I better put some good sauce on that if I'm going to try to eat it.
Yeah, that's probably the one I'm thinking about. Foxfire was around 14, 15 foot that they got out of the Alabama River. That's a big old gator. And I think when they cut it open, it had some dog collars in it. That ain't a good sign. I think it had half a deer in it. It had a couple of other things in it. So I had a friend that used to do a lot of coon hunting down in the Mobile Delta, and he said he lost several dogs to gators coon hunting. So you have to really watch it.
Just called me today and said they got there's a bear up where he's at in Vermont that ate the neighbor's goat, and then a couple of days later came back and ate the donkey. I'm like, someone might want to go over there and wait for this thing to come back the third time because
and get rid of it, right?
Keep eating stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, every now and then you'll hear people losing cows and stuff every now and then down in South Alabama. You'll hear where a gator got up in there and got a couple of cows. Usually the state will come in there and get rid of that gator. And they'll usually come in there and catch him and kill him, get rid of him. And but
we got a lot of bears that are traveling into us, into where we're at now. Up until a few years ago, we didn't see too many of them, and now they're every year. It's a common thing. But of course, all the village idiots on the Facebook community pages, they're like, "Oh my God, it's in my yard on the Ring doorbell," or it ate somebody's goldfish, or they think the thing's cute and cuddly. I'm like, don't start feeding it,
right.
Then the game commission's going to have to come take care of it because you decided to give it too many marshmallows or something.
Well, we've started getting a few bears popping up here. In fact, my neighbor right across the road, he's got a green field on the back side of his place, and he was getting pictures of a bear coming to his feeder, and then the bear got to run around where my mama's place was, getting into folks' garbage cans, and it had everybody in this area tore up. And People getting pictures of it, and it's probably a young male that probably been run off, you know. But we being at the end of the Appalachians, we always get a little hear about bears and showing up. There was one running around Pell City here a few months ago, and then we had one out there where I worked at that was in the parking lot one night, and the second shift got off, was going to their cars, and old bears running around the parking lot. Everybody was having a heart attack.
Yep.
There was one a couple weeks ago in the parking lot of the liquor store in town.
Oh, I bet that had everybody messed up, didn't it?
Everybody had already gone home. It was later, but someone tried to say on the security camera footage, they're like, no, that's a dog. And I'm looking at it going, what in the hell kind of dog have you been looking at? Because that thing don't even walk like a dog.
Right.
No.
Yeah, he probably won't come get him a bottle while he's there.
He wanted some Fireball.
Yeah, there you go. Go out around back and find him in the dumpster laid out, you know. Oh,
well, my ex-wife, where the place they used to work at, they had the younger kids would go out there at the it was a daycare center, and they go to the dumpster and more putting stuff in there, and one of them encountered a raccoon in the dumpster, and you would have thought there was a damn grizzly bear in there the way they were acting. This thing come up out of the thought those people were gonna have a heart attack over a damn coon.
Yeah, Diane, we're getting a pretty good shower here. It's
Lenita asked how it was.
Yeah.
We need some more showers here. It's been getting better, but every time we get a shower, I swear the corn jumps 6 inches.
Yep.
right. Yeah.
So does the grass.
Yeah, our ponds is looking good. My sorghum, or what here in Alabama, we call it high gear here in Alabama, or that's what everybody used to call it. And I planted some for some doves. It's looking real pretty. It's jumped, buddy. It's putting out some heads right now. And corn's looking fair. I just don't hardly have no corn, but you know, so
I'll be good as long as no bears or buggers start rolling around in mine.
right.
Night, Misty.
It'd be rough to run out there one night in a silage pit and old Bigfoot stand up out of it. Wouldn't it?
Getting him some of that fermented corn.
Oh yeah, I bet that'd be something else. Come out next morning, one be laid out in the yard where he ate too much of it, knocked him out. Oh,
quick, get the net.
Oh yeah, that'd be something else. Or come out there and a bunch of old coons done got drunk off that corn. Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised that's never happened to us. I've never had coons drunk off of the corn.
If
they drank that juice that ran out of that trench, they probably would be.
Right. I bet it would. I think old Greg has talked about his musket dimes. They've caught old coons up there.
Yeah.
Wobbling off, couldn't hardly walk, you know.
Can squatches in.
Okay.
Whenever I got to take care of coons, I just go down to the side of the trench at night with a flashlight and a shotgun. It usually works pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I ain't never heard no You
ever seen those little coon cuffs? It's like the Chinese finger trap for raccoons.
Right.
A little pipe they stick their hand in.
Right.
You ever need something to get rid of some coons, set them things out. If he gets out of the box trap, he ain't going to escape that.
I've heard that. I've heard a lot of folks use those and everything.
They're wonderful. I love them. Because
Hillary asked me there any stories of drunken boogers. I don't know. I don't know if I've heard that before or not. That's interesting.
I haven't heard anything about that, but
yeah, I imagine that wouldn't be a good thing to have one of them drunk around.
Nope.
No, probably not.
Right.
I'm still working on trying to find some stuff around here. People have been kind of quiet, and it just hadn't.
Well, you've been able to talk to a few people. You just know a few things you've talked about.
I'm definitely noticing stuff around here the more I look at things.
I think once you start realizing what you're looking for,
Yeah,
it starts really popping up, and
especially with the twists.
yeah,
I've
I
noticed
agree.
a lot of that in
Yeah.
certain areas.
Yeah, you can tell it's getting Rebecca's bedtime. She's yawning on.
Well, she's getting antsy and all that too, so she's trying.
She can't do over 2 hours too well. It starts getting to her.
I've been up since 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that can range into Kunbo territory, so it's
it's all good. This one can too.
Well, when you get Greg and some of us on here, good God, you don't know what time we're getting off the phone. We could be on there for an hour. We could be on there we could beat Roger's 6-hour marathon probably.
We may have to try that one Saturday night. We may have to try it. See if we can beat Roger's record.
Lord.
Roger's gonna have to come out of retirement or whatever he's gonna do.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I think that job's got him kind of busy, and I understand.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, we've been swamped but Jerry's tractor pull. He's doing videos tonight, and then he's basically shooting film all weekend. So this time of the year is his busy time for pulls. So they don't do as much in the fall and winter. So right now is when he makes most of his income.
Right. Yeah, he told me July, August, about September was his. I guess his bread and butter time, And, I knew I hadn't seen him in chat tonight, and I figured they probably had something going on somewhere. And,
he's down at one of the big pulling areas where down on the shore where they're at.
Yeah. Michael, hey, where is squatting?
Squatting.
Oh, Lord have mercy. We got some characters in here.
We do.
We got some characters.
Have you heard anything recent from around your area? I don't know if I asked you, Mark.
Well,
we
had this asked earlier.
Okay.
What happened?
I haven't. Well, me and Superfly, I've got to get up and see Superfly. Is
that around Windows area?
Well, it's close.
Okay.
Close. Superfly's been having still some stuff going on. I got to get up and see him. And then
he got paranormal, or is it booger?
I think he got a little bit of everything. I think what's going on there. I think he's got it all.
He's got it all.
Yeah. Some of the pictures I've seen, and I think. Good night, Miss Lanita.
Good night, Lanita.
We were just looking for that.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep. Yes, ma'am. And in fact, we got a pretty good long prayer list tonight. I've got some folks to add on that. I had that. Me and Rebecca went and made a video a couple of weeks ago, but we can't get the thing to upload. I don't know if it's because of that.
I'm behind a lot of people's videos right now.
Yeah. So
we got it uploaded to 40%, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
Wouldn't go no further.
Yeah. But a guy had told me he had rocks thrown at him while he was down on Coosa County Management area. And then he heard something go up the hill down there, what we call Goat's Bluff. And this big old bluff on the creek and real rocky, full of the, what you call them bushes, on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of them. They're all up in Tennessee in the mountains.
The rhododendrons?
No. Something else.
Not kudzu, is it?
No, I can't think of it. It'll hit me like a ton of rocks here in a minute. I don't know why I can't say it right now, but Anyway, he heard something leave, but he had got rocks thrown at him for a while. And he thinks it was boogers. And there's been booger reports from that area. Now, right here at the house, it's been real quiet last few weeks. Ain't much went on.
Laurel?
And Mount Laurel, that's it. Laurel. There you
That's
go.
the same thing.
Yeah, that's it.
It's rhododendrons.
Oh, is it? That's okay. I didn't realize that.
Not
Okay.
Laurel.
I did find out the guy that bought the property behind me is thinking about logging, so I don't know how all that's going to take place. So I don't know what's going to take place with all that. So, which I don't think the logging bothers them that much. I think they might be careful when it first gets clear cut, but then I think when it starts growing back up, they use that to their advantage, you know.
Yeah, they'd probably just move a bit. I guess it would depend on how much logging they were actually doing.
Right. So
It's been quiet here. I mean, I don't see me living up on this end. I don't really hear anything at night because most of that would be back there. So once in a while, the dogs do get a little weird down here because there's along the road. There's a patch of woods that's not any wider than like 50 yards between me and some of the neighboring houses. And once in a while, you'll catch them looking at something in there. But they don't run off into there barking at it like they used to.
it makes you wonder, don't it?
Even my beagle, and he'll take off and he'll chase a deer over to the next county. But lately, he don't try to run off into nothingness. He's kind of let's say he's a changed dog. It seems like.
I know what you mean there. I know.
I'm wondering if he encountered something. I don't know, but it's hard to say.
I think a lot of dogs learn real quick how to act with them. I think some of them do. They learn real quick, like how to act, and then you got some dogs that don't. And I think the ones that don't is ones that end up disappearing or something happening to them. And but
you never hear about dogs going. You don't hear a lot about dogs missing around here.
Right.
That's good.
We don't hear it much. You hear it every now and then. You'll hear something. Now you hear more about cats going missing than you do dogs.
We get a lot of cats here. We got a lot of barn cats. We got a lot of ferals. Cats everywhere.
Right.
I'm waiting to see if I start noticing them getting picked off or not. But I haven't, so I don't know. I'd figured if all the coyotes and the foxes around, they'd be eating the hell out of them, but they're not.
Yeah, coyote would put a hurting on cats.
Oh, yeah.
They put a hurting on them. I think they love cats. And that must be why we got several yard cats. They still here, so that's why I'm figuring the coyote population ain't too bad here.
Yeah.
And we got geese staying here all the time. So, last time I even seen anything that I thought may have been a booger was that same week that I seen that entity, on the road. That's the last time I've really seen anything. But it's been so hot, dry here, and now it's back raining, so I need to start watching for tracks with it being muddy.
See what she just said? I actually had something tapping on the window a couple months ago. I didn't go down there to look to see what it was. I was laying in the bed with a Winchester sitting about 3 feet from me, though.
Uh-oh. That ain't good. And somebody said, who was that? Oh, a lot of dogs going missing around Asheville. Yeah. That's real wooded up around Asheville. Real wooded. Yeah. Real pretty.
I was actually texting Greg when that thing was tapping on the window. He said, "Well, don't worry about getting the rifle unless you hear glass breaking."
Right. There you go. I think PJ said she was having some activity.
It's been crazy though.
Okay, she's been having a lot of howls and screams, knocks. PJ, did y'all get a lot of that flooding the other day? I know Arkansas got some pretty bad flooding in places. They had a lot of flooding the other day. So
Yeah, the other night, that's a funny story Greg's talking about. I fell asleep during one of our after hours chats.
yeah, I seen that.
And while I was snoring it couldn't have been 10 minutes, I think, after I passed out. Something threw something at Greg's propane tank. At least we're not sure what it was, but something hit the tank. And of course, it was loud enough that all three of them heard it. So,
yeah, I seen a picture.
Every time I get off of here or fall asleep or something happens at Greg's house.
You know they put a picture of you sleeping, don't you?
I saw it.
I heard you can saw through dead wood.
Oh, I got tickled when I seen that pop up. I don't forget. It may have been on Facebook or something. I can't remember where I seen it.
Well, I've got one of those damn CPAP machines too, and that thing don't work. Yeah. Now that I've tried one of those mouthpieces, that seems to work better for me as far as my snoring goes. But those CPAPs are damn near useless.
Yeah, I got tickled when I seen that picture. I said, "Dang, old Jeff's out, boy." You better watch that crowd when you on with them, man.
When I stop moving, that's when it takes over. I gotta constantly be doing something, or I just fall asleep. It's one of them farmer things. We can fall asleep anywhere.
Hey, I can fall asleep standing up, and I've done it before.
I've done that.
I've actually done it before. I've actually leaned up against the I-beam and went to sleep. And next thing I know, one of my co-workers going, "Hey, Mark.
I did that somewhere, and they at a beach bar, and they thought I was drunk. I got thrown out.
Wow.
I was like, hell, I do this at work too.
Yeah, people don't understand. They don't stand.
I fell asleep at a football game one time, and the damn security guard was accusing me of being drunk. I was like, we just got here.
Wow. Yeah, that's right, Patrick. It's the meal ride in me. Yeah. That being a maintenance man will get you.
Greg, I got arms on this chair. That's why I didn't fall out of it.
That helps.
Oh,
There have been times I fell asleep in the deer stand, and the good Lord woke up and was like, good thing this thing's got a railing.
That'd be rough, fall out of the trees, wake up falling, wouldn't it? That'd be tough.
I took a nap one time. I think the deer probably walked past me. It was dark when I woke up.
Wow. I had to go get a dude one time off the hunting club. His wife called. She was tore up, man. It was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. My husband went hunting. Ain't come home. And of course, first thing went through my head, oh Lord, he done had a heart attack or something. Or, I even thought, he done got up there and a booger done whooped him or something. And we get up there, and I call a couple more fellas, and I say, "Hey, we got a guy on hunt club and ain't showed up. We need to go look." So we all got up there, and the hunting club is set up with a sign-in board and like a big map, and you have to put your number where you're at hunting. So we went right to it, and I said, "Well, I know where he's at." So we go over there, and we find his truck. Get out, and we start hollering for him. Ain't get no answer. I said, "Oh Lord, have mercy." So I kind of thought I knew where he might be hunting at in there. So I started walking that way slowly. I get on over there, I don't know, a couple of hundred more yards, and I holler. And I hear somebody, hey, like that. You all right? Where you at? Yeah, I'm all right. I guess I fell asleep. So he's been laid up in the woods, sleeping for 3 or 4 hours. He said that was the best sleep he had ever gotten, though.
Yep.
And I said, it's been rough. I started to say something to him about if it'd been rough, though, to wake up and have a booger staring right you in the face. That'd been rough.
Yep.
That probably wouldn't have been a good awakening. But
that's the only time. That's the only time I've ever fell asleep in the stand. Otherwise, I've gotten out of there.
I fell asleep a few times in the woods. Now, I'll be honest with you. Once I figured out boogers was there, I ain't never fell asleep in the woods again.
It's been in between there and then and now, but the more I know about them, the less I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not falling asleep anywhere.
Yeah. When I figured out them things really existed, that's when I kind of quit taking naps. And I used to when we was coon hunting before, I've sit down up against the tree because dogs, quit. Sister, you killing me, girl. Lord have mercy.
I won't track deer. I won't track deer by myself anymore. Not after dark. I'll do it in the daytime.
Right.
I ain't doing it in the dark. If there's at least one other person with me and we got lights, I'm good. But I ain't I've done it a handful of times since I found out what was there.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it.
Yeah, we used to stop sometimes, just take us a little nap. We'd lean up against trees while we was waiting on dogs. But after I found out boogers were in the woods, I kind of quit doing that. So since then, I found out there's some worse thing in the woods too than just the boogers. So,
and apparently we got some of those around here.
Yeah.
I got a report of a rake.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've heard that. Yeah, Mr. Barton had a good week before last. He had that guy on, and then this week he had a lady
down
on
in the city too.
Right, and he had another guy on this week from not a lady. I mean, he had a lady, and she was from Columbus area, Ohio.
Yeah,
and I done heard there's a lot of boogers and stuff, and some dog men around Columbus, because I keep up with Ohio since that's where my kids are.
Yeah,
and of course I work with a lot of folks from that area, so I keep up with Ohio real good just because my kids are there. Because my 2 kids are very outdoorsy, and it worries me a little bit, and because some of the places, especially my daughter goes into, her and her boyfriend are subject to hit a hiking trail and go, camp out anywhere. And
she's related to me.
Yeah, they go over in West Virginia a lot camping, and some of them places she goes camping, there's been a lot of booger and dog men reports from, and I'm going.
There's one place over there that I will never go back to, and that's the Monongahela. That place. Stay there.
I've heard that before. You need to stretch a minute. Go stretch.
That's what I was doing.
Okay.
That was on Green Mountain. It's right on the border of Randolph and Tucker. I ain't ever camping in there again. That place creeped me out.
Did y'all have anything happen, or just the creepy feelings?
There's a couple times I felt like something was watching me. We left Josh down there, and he was with me the night we got chased out of the woods up here when we got screamed at. And that was what woke me up to this whole thing when I was a teenager.
Right.
That was the loudest thing I've ever heard. In fact, Greg's description of what he's heard is the best I've can come compared to. But when we were in Monongahela, there was one night we were all fishing and we went back to the camp and Josh was still down there by himself and nobody else was camped on any of the little spots along the way. So there was no one else out there yet. And he come back. We were all carrying pistols and shotguns in turkey season. We were just carrying pistols for bears in case we run up on one while we were turkey hunting. And he come back from fishing. He's got his pistol in one hand and his pole in the other, and looking at me, looking back down the trail. I was like, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "You all weren't just back here, were you?" No. Like, well, something was throwing rocks into the creek while I was fishing. There ain't nobody else down there. He's like, "I know that." He's like looking at me, and I'm like, "You know what it is."
I've heard some stuff about that, and from that area, and I tell you, last month or so, listening to you and Jerry and having your guest on, and then Barton having that guy on, I'm starting. I think y'all. And looking at your land, I think y'all got some stuff in there, no doubt.
Yeah, and we haven't really gotten any local encounter stories yet either, but I keep hearing stuff. I just haven't been able to get anybody to come on is the problem.
Right.
Trying to get people scheduled, and some people don't want to. They say they're going to come on, and then they're no show, and it's like, I don't know.
Don't worry. I have the same problem. I have a lot. Well, I think a lot of people would love to, but I think a lot of them are the ridicule bothers them. And then some folks just don't want to be on no screen, and I don't blame them, and like I told some people, I said, "You ain't got to be on the screen."
Yeah, that's what I told them.
I said, "You can get back behind the camera. We'll just point the camera looking out the woods or something, let you talk,
Yeah, we don't have to have them on the screen. Right.
And
I don't care if they come in as an alias.
I've got several people I've got to go sit down and let them tell me their encounters, and just point the camera out in the woods or something, let them talk, and everything. I got to do that. So
I got a couple that I'd like to have on, but I'm trying to vet them to make sure they're not just nuts.
Yeah.
That's another.
I know what you mean. I know what you're saying, and it doesn't hurt to sit there and pay attention for a little while to see what's really going on with some folks.
Yeah,
and you've kind of got to do that. Pay attention what's happening. Everything.
Yeah.
Just remember to keep up on local laws and changes.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Well, brother, I know you probably got to get ready to get off here because you got to get in bed because you got to milk a bunch of cows tomorrow. And
I might not be in there as early, but I'll be in there early enough.
But I know we didn't really get into boogers much, but I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed what we've talked about tonight.
We'll have to do a Bigfoot night.
We'll have to do a Bigfoot.
Yeah, we'll do a Bigfoot night.
Yeah. But also, this lets people learn about you and Jerry more, because that's what I like. Because we hear more of the
non-Bigfoot,
the growing up, the dairy, the living in your area, and that just. I don't know. To me,
they connect to you before
that's all part of the story.
Yeah, and that's what I like. What Miss V's doing.
Yeah,
she's going back and really, getting in people, what they're willing to say. Now that's cool. But she's doing that, and I think that's real cool because it shows that we're human, and it shows the different lifestyles we come from, and other things we've experienced just besides booger, and gives it more of a human aspect to it. So I like
Yeah,
that.
I actually talked to her a good bit. Her and I'm surprised she hasn't scheduled me yet, but I've been talking to her a lot here lately.
Yeah. Well, me and Rebecca, I think are in August for her. I think.
I don't know how far out she is right now, but she's been trying to line stuff up. But she does a lot of shows. Good Lord.
Yes, she does. She does. She's got a good show going, and I try to catch them when I can, and if I don't, I go back and watch them. And
now I've got everybody I like to listen to, and I can't catch up on nothing.
No.
Well, that's true. It's true. And we've been so busy at work lately that I used to be able to catch up on some of my YouTube shows at work. I could put my earphones in and listen.
That's what I normally do, but it's been so damn miserable that I just.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I know we got a big. Go ahead.
You guys work inside most of the time, don't you?
Yeah.
What about you, Rebecca?
I am inside now.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah. But it's hard for her to listen to stuff because she's having to answer phones and.
Oh yeah.
Check out customers.
Sister. But yeah, I used to be able to do a lot of my, at night we wasn't so busy, but the last few months our place is, I don't know, we've got busy lately, and it may slow back down sooner or later, and kind of quieten down. No, sister, you're not gonna get in my lap again. No.
If you get too busy, you're gonna have to retire, Mark.
I know. Yeah, I agree. I kind of look forward to retirement. I don't want to really get older, but I kind of look forward to it where I can put more time into farming, going seeing people and talking to people.
Yeah, me and Stacy were talking about that the other day, and she's got some plans. They're going to retire and slow down and travel. And I said, yeah, we're retiring to go to work.
Yeah. So right. So. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll go over the prayer list real quick because then we'll do a short prayer and we'll get.
I think we got a pretty big prayer list.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do. Of course, we want to remember Wendell. Wendell had his procedure done this week, and he's doing better.
Wendell had procedures. Phyllis had procedures.
Yeah, Miss Phyllis.
Gary had procedures.
Yeah.
D.A. Roberts had procedures.
Yep.
It's a lot of procedures.
Yeah. So y'all remember DA, remember Phyllis, Gary. Y'all pray for my cousin. I had a cousin today that had open heart surgery. He's a lot younger than me. I heard that he done very well with it, and he's a farmer. He's a timber cruiser by trade, but also he farms, and so y'all pray for him. And his name's Earl. And then I had a cousin pass away this week. A cousin, his name's Frank. He's one of my older cousins. He passed away this week, and be praying for his family. And I'll go over everybody else here. Let's see, Miss Christie. I didn't see her in chat tonight, but I think Miss Christie's starting to do a lot better. Miss CD's in. Yeah, Miss CD was in here tonight, and I think she's doing a little better.
Christy's been feisty in the chat, so she's probably getting better.
Right. And I hadn't seen Mr. Mark D, but I think he's doing a little better, what I understand. Of course, remember Stacy, she's in here, and Greg. Our friends David and Kathy. Y'all remember Miss Katie and John. I think I seen Miss Katie in here a little while ago, I think somewhere. Let's see, Mr. Terry and his wife. Bobby's mama. David Hughes' mom and dad. Miss Cindy Johns. Miss Sherry Griffin, she was in here earlier, but I think she's doing better. I don't know if she's still in here or not, but she was doing a lot better. Mr. Gene, I seen him in here a while ago. Well, there he is now. Y'all remember his family. They had some kin folks pass away, so y'all remember that and everything. And one of our neighbors, Miss Peggy Martin, I wonder how Miss Peggy's doing. You heard anything from her nephew? Yeah.
She got some PTSD from a car wreck.
Yeah. And of course, River,
an 18-wheeler.
I know River's been having a lot of family having problems, and he was in here earlier. I hadn't seen him in a while. Keith Crabtree. Mark Creel said his mom was starting to do a lot better, so that's good. Miss Lanita, she was here a few minutes ago. Y'all keep her in prayer. Miss Jean, her son, I hope he's doing better. I think she was here a little while ago, wasn't she?
Yes.
Was Miss Jean in there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all keep Tennessee Cherokee in y'all prayers. He's having some stuff going on, and PJ's niece Jessica, and I think that's everybody. I think that I've got right doing.
Well, I'm gonna throw a random name in there. Every now and then I get the customers' whole life stories at my window when they pay for their oil changes and stuff. And I got one today. She's having a lot of issues medically. She's got some gastro problems. She can't eat. All of her organs are swollen or something from some surgery she had. She can't eat. She can't drink. She's dehydrated. Liquid diet, but they don't want her to drink either. She's in a real mess. Her name, I think, was Judy.
Okay, we can remember Judy in prayer too. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of folks, a lot of health issues and illnesses, and a lot of other things going on with folks, depression and drama in their lives, and all kind of stuff. And we just keep praying for everybody and hoping everybody's get to doing better. And you know, we always want to pray for all our, because I consider everybody in this chat family. Even though I hadn't met most of you, I still, see, me and Rebecca really look forward to, Friday nights and, getting to see chat going and people talking, having a good time. And that's one thing I like about it right now. Our chat and Woodwalkers and Scotch and Holler and a few others. I don't see nothing but good stuff happening all the time, and that's what it's about. There's a lot of, I keep telling everybody, this subject brings out bad stuff in a lot of people. I don't know why it does that, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do know part of that reason, but it brings out bad in a lot of folks. I don't know why. Well, we'll stop right there with that part. But
there's a lot of drama.
Yeah, it is. And it shouldn't be there. But
now.
Yeah, Wendell, getting old is no fun. I agree with you there.
None.
I agree 100% there. Now, Jeff got a little ways before he can catch up with us. He's a young fella. How old are you, Jeff?
I just turned 35 on July 6th.
Oh, yeah, he's still,
he's still
wet behind the ears, yeah.
You're just a baby.
I tell you that this business ages you a little faster, though.
It does. I agree with you. Working in the industry or farming puts a toll on you. It does put a toll on you. Construction work, it does it. It does put it on you. So
anytime you got to do heavy labor like we do,
That's the one.
I agree.
Heavy labor.
I don't try to pick up the calves and carry them as much as I used to.
That's right. That's right. I one day Rebecca was doing something. I forgot what she was doing.
No telling.
And I said, "Won't you go get the tractor with the front end bucket on it and help you do that?"
He's always telling me, "Go get the tractor."
I mean, I bought a tractor to help you do work easier, and you still want to do it the old way, you know. And
Yeah, anymore,
I mean-
I'm looking for a buggy to put it in or something to turn it off because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not carrying this thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, I tell you, over time, you start realizing that you can't do all that all the time. That it starts hurting your body, and you need that extra little help of machinery or whatever you got, you know. And
Happy
Someone
early
asked me
birthday.
while I was opening the gate instead of climbing over it. I said it's easier.
happy birthday, Bobby. I know it's 2 weeks away, but we'll try to remember when you get a little closer. I've been thinking about doing the birthdays. You know,
You got to keep up with them. I can't.
well, they just have to let us know when they're gonna have them, and then we'll do a shout out on the live. So
I must have been special. Spencer put mine on there the other day. I don't know what I did. He must have been in a good mood or something.
Well, I know I just can't keep up with it. So
I know.
I barely keep up with the people I know.
Well,
In fact, I missed Ella's dad's birthday.
oh, did you?
I did.
That's okay. My dad forgot about mine till the next day. I
I know what
said,
you
weren't you there? Oh,
He's
Lord.
what, around our age? Forgive him.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll start having to keep up with that. Well, we'll go ahead and do a prayer. And I know you need to get off and take care of some stuff. Much as I hate it,
close my
I guess I'm gonna
chickens
get
up.
ready. Do what, Greg,
I
Jeff?
gotta close my birds up.
Yeah, I got to go here, I guess, get ready for work here in a minute. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in
Dogs
and
will get me up in a couple of hours. So
because I'm gonna have to go in and do some PMs tonight. I'm behind on everything. So
Oh, Lord.
well, they put too many on us for this month, so I'd rather go on and get it. It's rainy tonight. It's supposed to rain all day off and on tomorrow, so I won't get nothing done much outside. So I said it'd be a good night to go to work. So, you know. All right, we'll go ahead and do a prayer and we'll get ready to get off here. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for many things you do for us each and every day. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for your mercy, your peace, your justice. Thank you for your son, for what he's done for us, Lord. Thank you for the Holy Spirit, Lord. Lord, be with everybody in this chat that's been with us tonight and the ones, Lord, that's having health issues or other problems going on, Lord. Be with them and your will be done, Lord. Lord, thank you for everything. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, brother, I really appreciate you being on tonight. And we'll get you on again here pretty soon. We'll go over more of the Bigfoot stuff. And we might have to have us a night. We'll have 4 or 5 of us on, get in.
Yeah.
There, you know. And,
That'd be a good night.
that's
Right.
how you beat Squatch and Holler's record.
yeah,
right?
there you go.
Because you don't go that long on your own.
We got next week. Next week we'll have another guest on, and so y'all come on back next Friday night again. And sister, you worried me to death tonight.
Gypsy ordered it too.
But keep every time I turn around over here. But
I know my 2 are waiting on me too.
they get impatient, boy.
They know we've been
They
coming.
like kids, boy. They get
Well, you see
impatient.
what that beagle does when we're on my show. He gets up behind me. He's like sitting in front of me. He's doing all sorts of stuff.
Right.
He just can't climb up the
Coming
chair.
on the show.
Yeah, we need to have. And I'll tell you, that's what I was gonna say. There's a lot more folks in this chat that I love to have on. Y'all gonna have to start stepping up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna come on one Friday night week," because we ain't got to talk about just boogers and ghosts and all that. We can. Where'd that moth come
From
from?
the front door that's open.
Oh yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, somehow I went from David this week to the first installment of Greg House. That's how.
Well, everybody, y'all go support Jeff and Jerry, and they got a YouTube channel. It's called Old Line Cryptids. Y'all do every Tuesday night. They have a guest on, and y'all go support them. They have a good chat going on, and I usually come in late because I'm having to get ready for work. And then I usually tune in on my way to work. I'm listening to y'all, so y'all being an hour ahead of me, kind of.
It's confusing. I know.
Yeah. So, but y'all go support them. They have some good guests on, and they had David on this past Tuesday, and Greg come in there for a little while. So
we're trying to get more locals. We're working on getting more locals, is what we're trying to do.
Right. Well, that's some of the stuff I've been wanting to do is get more local. I'd love to have everybody on,
Stacy.
but I'd like to have some local folks come in here and there too with me. So,
and we also want to work on some of the local Maryland legends too. Is another thing Gary and I've been talking about doing.
That'd be good. Well, they like I said, everybody, it's Old Line Cryptids. Y'all go check them out. They've had a few shows already.
We had to change the name.
Do what now?
It used to be Mason Dixon. If anybody gets confused.
Yeah. I was thinking it was Mason Dixon.
Well, they had to change.
We had to make some adjustments. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I started to tell him that's not what their channel is, and then I realized, wait a minute, don't say that.
Well, we appreciate everybody coming in tonight. Glad to see everybody. I hope everybody has a good weekend. It's going to be a little rainy in Alabama, but it's going to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be about 80 degrees every day. Boy, I'm looking forward.
That's what we're looking at this weekend, and I'm in love with it because it's been terrible.
Yeah. I know, being out there fooling with cows, and I know I've been there, so it ain't no fun.
Everything's sticking to you.
Yeah. That hay sticking to you and feed.
Flies
everywhere. I know.
They get worse the hotter the temperature.
Yeah, it does. They do. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you being on with us tonight.
Yeah.
When we go off, I won't keep you backstage. We'll just go ahead and go off. That way you can go get what you need to do. And I'll be talking to you later on this week. And
all right. Rebecca's got to go to bed.
Huh?
Rebecca's got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Rebecca's headed to take care of dogs and go to bed.
Yeah,
because she'll be up in a couple hours with the dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'll be up. I'm sure I'll be up for a little bit because I'm sure someone will call me after I get
Somebody gets you, won't they? All right, brother. I appreciate you being on.
Snoring again.
There you go. I might be at work in a while. See you pop up on YouTube.
You never know what's going to happen around here.
No.
Yeah. Be like, well, there's Jeff sleeping again.
That's all it looks.
Oh, me.
I'll have to go do dishes or something, keep myself moving around.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I appreciate
you guys
it.
have a good night.
You too, brother. We'll holler at you later. See y'all, everybody. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all.
And